Habari Africa. I don't know how many times the ANC must be warned about the government of national confusion. I don't know how many more people must speak about this. I don't know how Mapaila and the likes of Panyaza and many other people in and outside the ANC must warn the ANC that working with the Democratic Alliance is a bad idea. They don't want to listen. You know what happened in Botswana is the country, the youth coming out and saying enough is enough. The warnings are there. 17% drop by President Cyril Ramaphosa. The ANC still does not want to listen to the people. This move of the government of national confusion is going to be the death of the ANC. And it will be a self-inflicted pain by the ANC because they simply refuse to listen to the people. They blame the MK, they blame those people, but they never point a finger to themselves. And this is why I agree with what Mapaila is doing. And also, we all are saying, like the Communist Party is saying, they will protect and defend Panyaza Lesufi. And they are totally against the government of national confusion. I support this 100% because these videos will be playing them back, in 2029 or maybe even in 2026 to say, ANC, you did not listen when the people spoke to you.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host Kahiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and this is your home of Pan-Africanism. We're back at it again with another one. And if you are a person who loves African unity, you love political news, you love, speaking about the African content coming back to its old self or its former glory, this is the channel for you. Please click the subscribe button. We're trying to reach about 50,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So I think we are like 8,000. 9,000 away. We can do this. Click the subscribe button, leave your thoughts on the comment section, and make sure you click the like button so that YouTube can spread the video. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what we must say to the ANC. Leave this government of national confusion before the local election because it's going to prove very deadly to the ANC. They don't want to listen. Leave. You don't need the Democratic Alliance. You don't. They don't want to listen. One of their own, Panyaza Lesufi, came out publicly going against working with the Democratic Alliance. He said no in Gauteng, where he had 34%, 35%. The ANC lost Gauteng. But still, Panyaza Lesufi found a way to work with other smaller parties, except for the Freedom Front Plus and the Democratic Alliance. A wise move, because Panyaza has got the right mindset that our country is not yet ready for a rule of that racist party, and I don't think we'll ever be ready for the rule of the racist party. Now, addressing a crowd, Mapaila has come out, and that Mapaila has said, listen, Panyaza Lesufi, we are going to back you. We are going to support you, and we are going to defend you because the views that you have about the government of national unity is that the Communist Party is supporting. Very good. Is this campaigning already starting for the 2027 national election or leadership election of the ANC? Of course it is. It has started. Panyaza is the front horse running in front. Is it going to last? I don't know. But one thing I know right now is that the Communist Party is leading the fight to defend Panyaza Lesufi. And Panyaza Lesufi needs to hear that there are people on his corner.
Let me greet the leadership of the ANC, led by the special one, Comrade Panyaza. I want to say, as I greet the leaders of the ANC in the region and members of the peace who are here, I want to echo this message, Comrade PJ. Obote, you have not been elected to be condemned by our oppressors, and that we will keep quiet, Comrade Panyaza. We will defend you for as long as you are taking forward the struggle of our people here in Gauteng. We will not allow the opposition like the DA to think that they can make you their playground. They will find us there in that ground to engage them before they come to you. You are right, Helen Zille and the DA must get off from the affairs of the African National Congress. They are not our members. They must not interfere in the affairs of the African National Congress and in the affairs of our liberation movement. Let me say, as I greet the other comrades and say, we will defend Comrade Panyaza here in Gauteng and defend the ANC everywhere. Because, like Comrade Mike Chicago was saying, we are not an opposition to the African National Congress. We are members of the African National Congress in our own right. As members of the Communist Party, I'm a member of the African National Congress in my own right. And that right cannot be taken away by the relationship in government between the ANC or the government of national unity. And therefore, Comrade Panyaza, we can say you have got our full support to continue the programs they've started here in Gauteng. And we wish our premiers across other provinces can also join Comrade Panyaza and create jobs in our communities, because we have shown it can be done.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I love what the Communist Party is doing. Not as the Communist Party, but their stance right now. I truly admire their bravery, because it takes a lot of guts to do what they are doing, to go against the government of national confusion. The Communist Party has been having a love and hate relationship forever with the ANC, especially post 1994. They've been threatening to leave the ANC. They have differed from the ANC ideologically and disagree with some of the stance that the ANC has taken over the years, but they remained there. You know, and someone told me when I was speaking to one of the leaders of the Communist Party in the Northern Cape, he said to me, the Communist Party can't leave the ANC because the ANC inside does not have a faction that defends the history and the pride of the ANC. He says the Communist Party is keeping them accountable of their history and trying to remind them of their identity, who the ANC is. That's another debate for another day. But for them to come out as Mapaila to say, listen, we want to defend Panyaza Lesufi on his stance. Don't be afraid, go, we are behind you. Or we are in front of you, we're the first line of defense. Remember, Panyaza Lesufi was told by Fikile Mbalula that do not act like the Communist Party, Mapaila.
Pick up these things. So I call him. And I say, Panyaza, don't behave like Mapaila. He's an SACP General Secretary. We are in the ANC here. GNU, we discussed and agreed with it. And then there are these insinuations. Give you a chance. Come to the ANC, because what you are doing borders on ill discipline. Breaking the constitution of the ANC and bringing it into disrepute. Explain yourself. I've given him that platform, called him to the officials. He explained himself for less than 5 minutes.
And it's sorted now?
There was never an issue to be sorted. He explained himself and his explanations were accepted by all of us. And then we left him to go. But if he thinks he will run a campaign against the Secretary General of the ANC, he must mind his steps, because we will act. We will never tolerate rogueness in the organization. That we will never allow.
Are you insinuating that he's rogue?
No, I'm saying we will not allow rogueness in the ANC. If he has decided to run a campaign against me as the Secretary General of the ANC, defacing the Secretary General of the organization, and doing it perpetually, despite the fact that we are engaging and we talked politically and settled matters, we will have to see how to get around that. We will never allow anarchy, because we are running organization, and our running of the organization is informed by the principles of democratic centralism. And democratic centralism dictates that when a decision is taken by the upper structure, the lower structures must follow in line. Worst of all, when you are an ex officio member. So, me and Panyaza at a personal level, we are okay. KDK. Panyaza and Gauteng, we are fine. There is no problem between. We are examining the state of organization to reinforce them, to build the organization, but we must not allow rogueness to creep in the ANC. In that way, it will kill the party and destroy our revolution.
I've completely...
And that was one of the reasons why the Secretary General Pala FM called Panyaza Lesufi into Litule House to say the statements that you are making publicly, they are going against the decision of the NEC, of the ANC, to go with the government of national confusion. And Pala FM always makes it seem as if the whole of the ANC, democratic centralism, must agree on the stance that the ANC has taken. You know, we have taken a position, we run. Whether this position is right or wrong, you as the ANC must abide to that decision we have taken. And people like Panyaza have said no, but our conscience does not allow us to sit around and allow these type of things. So the campaigning for Panyaza has started, slowly picking up. We will see in the front when our Paul Mashatile, Fikile Mbalula, Kwere Mantashi, I don't know who else is going to come out. The Women's League has also said Pagama Bafazi. So we're waiting to see Abu Mama Bazo Kipabani Lapo. We're still waiting to see. But the front horse right now is Panyaza Lesufi, and many South Africans outside the ANC favor Panyaza Lesufi. You see, South Africans, they understand real politicians. They can see them from far. I mean, we can see that Vuyo Zungula of the ATM, African Transformation Movement, is a true person. Everybody can see that. You don't need to vote for that party. You don't need to support that party. But genuinely, every South African can see that is a true man. And I can say it without Fidel from the National Colored Congress. Fidel is one of those guys that is Mr. Adams. That is Adams. That is supported by everyone, black, white, yellow, pink, green, because of his stance. He's genuine. We don't have genuine leaders anymore in the ANC. And so Mapaila is crying to say the ANC must wake up. But the reason why he's saying he's backing Panyaza, he made it very clear, and it took me back. It got me thinking, but what Suli is saying, he's making a valid point.
When we reject the GNU, we're not rejecting the African National Congress. We're in alliance with the African National Congress. We'll debuff the African National Congress on this or that particular point. But, Mutata give you, what Marish? Yale, Ritwele Gimahuwa. If you're not Mutata, we will more Nabu. Yale, Aresa Kona Louis Paza, this patient yaure. Mahua ba uile, ke bona ba tshwereng naga ye, ke bona ba controllang what must happen. That is why we are opposed to the government of national unity. And we want to say to our movement, African National Congress, please do not be the agent to recolonize our country. We fought over 372 years of colonialism. We removed the colonialists. We occupied political office to transform our country. Please don't take us 400 years back. There's been 400 years of heroic struggles to defend the land, to defend our country. Please, let's not go back to recolonization. We in the Communist Party, we will never accept to go through colonization, no matter what form it comes up with. I know the men are talking about nako ya makgowa e fedile. Makgowa tshwantse a amogele democracy, majority rule, abuse ya democracy, a se ntho e tlo e dumelang gore di be le gore makgowa ba tle ba re busetse morago. E ka se kgone eo.
If there is one thing as an ANC member you take from this video is this statement that Soli made. And that's what we all feel actually. Just because we reject the government of national confusion, it does not mean that we are rejecting the ANC. As a Pan-Africanist, I will never reject the ANC. But once the ANC does wrong things, I will never keep quiet. That is what Soli is saying. We reject working with the Democratic Alliance by all means. But it does not mean that we hate the ANC, want the ANC to die and finish off and everything. Some people might feel that strong, and I understand for the past 30 years why some other Africans might feel like that way. But I'm saying as black people, no black person deep inside, if the ANC was doing well, the ANC was doing great, wants to see the ANC out of power. But the arrogance of the ANC is going to lead to their downfall. They don't want to listen to us. The Dutch Afrikaner are now back in power. Arrogant as they are. Look at the Minister of Basic Education boycotting the Bella Bill signing. Cyril Ramaphosa entertaining AfriForum and Solidarity Movement and saying, no guys, I give you 3 months, makes a presentation. A president, after the Bella Bill has went through the process of Parliament, and it's final, and now he's signing it. He takes a clause 4 and 5, take it up and put it aside for further discussion. What is that discussion? Afrikaans, Zulu, Paza, whatever children must not be in one class because they speak different languages. These ones must not go to that school because that's an Afrikaans medium school. All of that nonsense is what they are trying to discuss now. So, when it comes to these Afrikaner people, my issue, I want to tell you guys my issue about this thing. Because Usoli says the ANC must not be an agent to bring back colonization, to recolonize South Africa. Guys, we never decolonized. Come on, let that ring in your head. We never decolonized. We were colonized and then were given an artificial democracy. We never got the land. We never got global world participation. We never got the minerals rights. We never got anything. So we were never decolonized. The educational system was never decolonized. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So we are still in a state of colonization, but right now we are like free men, but limited in their movement in a nation. We are limited as black people, disadvantaged as black people. When you think about buying a car, budget. When you think about building a house, land. When you think about taking your child to school, budget. When you think about buying some pairs of jeans, budget. Priorities. Must I eat or must I buy food? White people, most of them in the majority, don't think like that. When they think about building a house, they just have a location problem. Where must I build it? I've got that land there. I've got that land there. My grandfather left us with that land there. This land we can do there. When they're thinking of buying Orania, they just go to the government of public works in 1990. The government of water affairs gave them the land with 1 million point something. The land in Orania. So they don't have the limitations that we have. Any move, even if you come up with an idea, you come up with a new idea of creating a car that operates with limited battery power, or whatever it is. As a black child, as an inventor, you don't know where to go. You don't have an uncle that is in high businesses. You don't have anyone. You go to the politicians, they are corrupt. You have a great business idea, you present it to the politicians, they steal it. As a white person, you've got a great business idea, you present it to your parents, they fund it, your business goes. You don't have a problem with going to public schools as a white person. Very limited. I'm sure the African people being 8% of the population, I'm sure less than 0.5% is in the public schools system. So we have never went out of colonization. We are still colonized. Our education system is still colonized. It still tells us that we must be workers. The educational system tells us what to think and not teach us how to think. So that is the issues that is happening here. We saw the Minister of Home Affairs coming in, giving a preference to not Palestine, to Israel, to Ukraine and other countries. And you can see that they just want to favor the white countries. It is clear the racism that is there in the Democratic Alliance. You can see Dion McPherson with a matric leading a minister with an honors degree. You can see what is happening. A person who never grew up in a farm, who does not understand farming, who does not understand agriculture, who does not even have education to back his appointment as a Minister of Agriculture, is the Minister of Agriculture. Is what the complexion of protection can give you. Do you guys understand what I'm saying to you? So it hurts to see us working with these people. And another thing, you are working with a people who never asked for forgiveness, who don't show remorse of apartheid. I keep on repeating this. I say, if my father steals your father's bus or truck, for example, let's say truck, and my father uses that truck to transport coal to a mine, and he ends up buying a second truck, and he ends up buying a third truck, and you suffer because my father stole your father's truck, and now we are rich, we are benefiting because our father managed to multiply that truck into 17 trucks. My father passes away, your father passes away. Our children are born, which is now the third generation. And my child goes to the best schools. And your child goes to the public west schools where the child can fall in a pit toilet. And then when my child meets your child, they tell your child, work harder. You need to work harder. You are not pushing hard enough. Because my child is speaking from a point of privilege. Your child is at a disadvantage. The white people never asked for forgiveness, and they never will. They never gave us any economical freedom in South Africa. We were never decolonized. We are still colonized as African people in South Africa. That's why other countries, they're laughing at us. We say, no, South Africa is the best, whatever. Look at how beautiful our cities are. And they ask a question, since 1994, which city have you built? Then we keep quiet. All the cities we know in South Africa were built post 1994, pre 1994. We look like stupids, trying to be proud of what the masters have built. I know it's not entirely true because we basically built all of these cities. Labor-wise, we built them. But you guys understand my point. We were never decolonized. So usually saying don't recolonize, don't be an agent ANC to recolonize again. We never got out of colonization. It's just another form of colonization, neo-colonization, whatever you want to call it. But we never got decolonized in our African people. That's why you see us trying our best to say, let's start with the educational system, let's build schools, let's build a gated community, let's build our own city, let's build something. It's gonna take years. It's gonna take some time for us to get to where we want to get. It's difficult. Akolula. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You guys hear paseta. It's gonna take millions, close to billions, to build the ideas that we have and make them possible. But it is not impossible if we start today. Because if we don't unite, we'll never get anywhere. My question is, with all the spending that you do, spending on food, spending on whatever, I'm speaking to the people that work, spending on entertainment, spending on whatever, can you please have a 50 rand to spend on Pan-Africanism and the African unity and an African team that is trying to build a new boarding school for African children? Africanize the educational system. Bring it back to where it's supposed to be. I'm asking for your contribution, because without your contribution, I can't. I've already become a clever bag and said no to contributions from outside our race. I've already said no. So I can't go back to those people and say, my people are not supporting the way I thought they were supporting. Can you please borrow me a 500,000? No. We say 10,000 people, black people, African people will contribute 50 rand each per month and will make this dream possible. 10,000 is a little bit too much. It's a big stretch, but it's a dream nevertheless. It seemed impossible until it is done. So be part of the possibility of building the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. Details is on the screen, of course. Thank you so much for everyone. Please help your boy to get to that 50,000 subscribers, finish my year with a bang. That will mean so much to me. That will mean so much to me if I can get to 50,000 subscribers. So whether we agree or disagree on certain topics, at the end of the day, we can agree, me and you, that our African children must start in a better footing than us. So if you agree only on that point, click the subscribe button. Leave your thoughts on the comment section. What do you think? Is Panyaza the new horse, the leading horse in this race for the 2027 election conference? Or do you think that Panyaza and Abosole will be silenced before that time comes? Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.